CMD Railtel, Shri R.K. Bahuguna, to give us the keynote address for the day.
Respected Sri Suresh Prabhakar Prabhuji, who will join us at 11 a.m. through the telepresence. Respected Sri Manoj Sinha Sahab, who has been detained for some important reason. He will be joining us at about 12:15. Member staff, Railway Board, Mr. Pradeep Kumar, Member Mechanical, Mr. Hemant Kumar, Rajan Anandan, CEO, India and Southeast Asia, Google, my colleague, Mr. Rao, Director General, COAI, Mr. Rajan Matthews, my very good friend, Mr. Goyal, my senior officers from railways, my colleagues, people from media and industry. I am privileged to welcome you all on this great Foundation Day of Railtel. First of all, I'll apologize. There have been some delay in the morning, say about more than 30 minutes, primarily because our chief guest who had come from USA yesterday night only, and he is scheduled to come, and so he'll in any case will be coming now. This is the first time we thought of conducting a seminar on our Foundation Day. Generally on the Foundation Day, there is an evening function where we look back into our results and performance, award the people who have contributed excellently in the organization, and enjoy the evening with a cultural program. When we were debating in house, we are looking at now what Railtel is up to in the industry. Because for the core purpose for which Railtel was set up was over sometimes in 2011, 2012, modernize railways network and facilitate broadband and telecom in the country. So we were the key organization who had supported all the telecom operators in the country to roll out their network in the difficult areas. So that mission got achieved. We are looking for something different. Then we went to DOT and National Knowledge Network. What is the government direction? There is a huge demand in this sector, and by way of, they wanted to create a national knowledge network where all the repository of information available in the country could be shared by others. So in the process, all about 1,500 institutions, IITs, IIMs, medical colleges, R&D institutions, name any, including our ERISET, they are all part of that great network, which is National Knowledge Network. Further, we looked into DOT and they offered us to do the work in Northeast area, which was very deprived of the broadband network. We took over that responsibility. It was a difficult areas, but as all of you know, the railways, we enjoy working into difficult situations. Subsequently, taking a cue from that, we were also become partner in the NOFN, National Optical Fiber Network, for which we have been assigned again Northeast and Gujarat and Tamil Nadu. Getting into all this, now we realize that where does Railtel stand? What is our future direction? What we are expected to do? It's not the routine work we wanted to do. We wanted to do something different. With the Digital India initiative of the present government, we realized that there is tremendous potential we can do by complementing efforts of Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited or the government, whatever they want to do. There are enough organizations who are working in cities which are commercially viable. But there is hardly an organization who works in rural and remote and difficult areas. Railways have a distinct advantage. We have a telecom POP every 8 to 10 kilometers, somewhere 15 kilometers. covering small towns and villages. So we realized that this setup could be ideally used to take the broadband in those areas, so the rural area becomes on the mainstream. So the theme of the today's seminar, which we'll take up through a panel discussion, is basically bridging the rural disconnect. It is not disconnect only by way of communication. It is disconnect by way of roads. It is disconnected by way of water supply. It is disconnect by way of electricity. It is disconnect by way of education, what all you name it. Me, myself, coming from a small background, some part of the country I traveled sometimes back, I realized that the condition there today after 35 years or 40 years are the same, which was in my village somewhere in remote Uttarakhand at that time when I was studying. Means it needs a lot of work to be done. But we realized that the communication can reach fastest, and in the direction the government really worked, and the project like NOFN are coming, and we are proud that we are part of that. Second part is, we are the telecom operator. We are the 5th largest infrastructure-wise, but we are not into retail services like mobile, etc., because we do not have a spectrum. That mandate is already with the government company BSNL. We realized that if we work on Wi-Fi, I generally used to say the Wi-Fi is the 4G of rural India, which appears to be now more true than we thought over earlier with the development of technology. So we decided, okay, let's work on this area of broadband and Wi-Fi through two models. One is a rail wire, tap with the cable operators who have the largest last mile connectivity after the incumbent BSNL. They have more fiber than laid all over India in the access. Yes, it's not in a very structured and organized way, but yes, but they provide service. Second was, when the Wi-Fi became popular, the technology went up, let's work on Wi-Fi. To start with railway stations, the idea again came from USO Fund administrator then, my close friend. He said that by the time broadband reaches into villages, it will be time. Why can't, in the meantime, create a digital literacy so at least station can be lit? And if there is a Wi-Fi broadband, in any case, people traveling and coming back will know that how does it work. So these are the two themes we have picked up. We are happy that we have an association with Google in this regard. The technology which is being deployed here is unparalleled. This is the first ever in the world. Second, if I am not wrong, Google CEO might correct, it is only in New York City, which I recently told that it is under progress. So we are privileged to work on that technology, and the experience and the feedback what people really have is totally different. The theme is, how do we take it further? So there is a theme called Wi-Fi as a service. If we provide the IT and core infrastructure to validate security and the government concerns, can we spread it to the campuses? Can we take it to the villages? How do I give wire everybody? So in a village, if I'm in a panchayat, I am able to create a hotspot. Whoever needs could just go over there. It's like an old age PCO. So with this background, I don't want to take much time. This is the topic. I welcome you all and thank you all for coming over here and hoping that we will have wonderful discussions during the panel discussion, and with my lot of railway colleagues here who I have worked with and they know what technology is looking forward to a wonderful deliberation in the process. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bahuguna. I would now like to invite on stage Mr. Rao, Director RailTel, to kindly come up and give a few words for the day with all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome Mr. Rao.
You are welcome to all of you. Very good morning. Dignitaries on the dais, Mr. Pradeep Kumar, member staff, Mr. Hemant Kumar, member rolling stock, Mr. Rajan Anandan, Google CEO, Mr. Bahuguna, our beloved CMD, Mr. Matthews, Mr. Verma, senior officers from the railways, and I also welcome our ex-CMD, Mr. Vajpayee Saab, who is there among us today. After a number of years, we are happy to have him here, and other retired officers as well as the RailTel family. I don't want to bore you further what Mr. Bahuguna has said. I want to say only few words that you can see. We are both in way of working as well as in way of our deliveries. Because since I'm a marketing director, I can say that our strength is not only in picking up the orders, but in faster deliveries. We have been given a mandate the other day that we have been doing the telepresence, all of you have seen. One day a mandate has been given from the Honorable Minister that we want to have the telepresence from the residents of the MR, and the time given to us was hardly 4 hours. You can imagine we were able to fulfill that task, and today we will be honored when our MR speaks from the residents. So these are all certain things. And second thing, what I want to say is that Mr. Bahuguna and myself, we started almost along with the RailTel's starting. So as in mythology or in spirituality, people say that everybody cannot become a Sadguru, you know. To become a Sadguru, one has to experience it. One can be a guru by teaching, preaching, and talking Vedas and things like that. But one cannot be a Sadguru unless he experiences it. Fortunately for us, we have experienced RailTel right from its inception, right from the initial stages. So we have seen how the journey for us has taken it forward, and we are able to come to this stage. It is not that we have brought RailTel to this stage. Of course, naturally, no two or no individual can bring it without the support of the people. When we work with the people, the next topic which is going to talk in the panel discussion is about the collaborative methods of the working for the rural divide. These collaborative methods were there in the genes of every RailTel individual who is available here or working somewhere in India. So that collaborative genes which are there with all of us, either by way of natural instinct or by way of training, that's where we are today standing, something different from what RailTel is compared to other organizations. This point I want to bring and stress upon all of you. And when I say that the collaborative ones, if I can recollect somewhere in 2008, if I'm right, when I was 2007-8, Vajpayee Saab is also aware of that time when I was heading the southern region. Google, one single gentleman from Google has come, I don't want to name him. He was trying to find out whether RailTel is a proper operator for choosing for their long haul requirements. Then he was in confusion whether this government organization, will it be able to meet the demand? Will it be able to meet the SLAs? Can it meet the timelines? Of course, after due diligence and things like that, they were able to give a major order to RailTel, and today one of the biggest customers for RailTel is Google. Let us clap. So the association with Google for us from a customer point of view has been there before for us. Unfortunately, it culminated into a collaborative agreement now for us by having the Wi-Fi rollout, which Wi-Fi has become a buzzword. Then the panel discussion is going to come on Wi-Fi. I don't want to talk much on that. But the way we have grown, the way we have positioned ourselves in either working with the customers or choosing ourselves to be in areas where we are different and are able to deliver successfully is where RailTel is standing today. But however, the goals are much higher for us. The targets are much more for us, and I am sure with the support of all of you, we'll be able to achieve it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rao. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall now have Shri Suresh Prabhakar Prabhu, the Honorable MR, communicating and talking to us today through video conferencing. Yes, and that would be through RailTel. He has a message for all of us that he wishes to deliver. So let's have him on video conference with us now. Well, I guess there's some time before he comes live with all of us through video conference. I guess in the meantime, we shall just move ahead, and in case he comes live, we'll have to cut through to him. So now I would like to invite on stage over here, Mr. Rajan Anandan, VP Google India and Southeast Asia, to kindly come up and share a few words with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome Mr. Rajan Anandan.
Good morning, everyone. Firstly, I wanted to thank RailTel and the Ministry of Railways and all of you for this incredible partnership that we have between RailTel and Google. You know, if somebody had asked me a year ago whether 50 railway stations could have been taken live with the fastest high-speed Wi-Fi networks in the world in a matter of 32 weeks, I would have said absolutely not. That's not doable. But I think I'm delighted to let all of you know that as of this morning, we have 50 of India's largest railway stations live. So I want to thank the CMD, Mr. Rao, the entire team at RailTel, member Electrical, members of the leaders of the Railways Ministry, and also our Google team that's sitting in front here for this incredible effort. As we think about India's internet, we are now over 350 million internet users. Oh, yes, it is time to break and have the Honorable Minister of Railways address us. Thank you again, and look forward to the discussion.
Well, I guess we have the Minister of Railways with us live now, so we shall have him sharing his message with us now, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me congratulate RailTel for doing some really good work in the course of last few years. RailTel is one of the premier institutions providing an important backbone which is so critical for connectivity. The medium of communication is as important as the communication itself. So if you don't have optic fiber cable, which is a medium, you will not be able to send any message, and you will not be able to hear on either side or able to communicate what you really need to. So Airtel has been one of the premier institutions trying to provide connectivity and has done a commendable job. Of course, a lot more needs to be done, and that is what it is trying to do. So I will wish them all the best, in addition to wishing them well for what they have done already. Today is a foundation day for RailTel, and that's the right way to celebrate it is by coming out with a theme around which we are deliberating about it. At the same time, we want to find out ways of advancing the cause. We have always been facing this challenge. India being a country of a size almost of a continent, with more than 7 lakh villages spread across the country. Some are so far flung that very difficult to even provide physical connectivity. We face the challenge when I was the Minister of Power, when we are trying to provide electricity to rural areas. We realize that there are some villages which are so far flung that we will not be able to offer them grid connectivity. That's why we needed standalone system to do that. Now, providing connectivity to villages has to be in different forms. You must have physical connectivity coming from roads. You must have rail connectivity. Of course, it's not possible that we can connect each and every village by railway. I think that will be too audacious to think. But we need roads. The roads will bring people to the nearest railway station. Railways will take them to their final destination. So this is a multimodal connectivity. The second connectivity also has to happen, which people need essentially, so that they can avail of the services which normally the better developed area gets, whether it's healthcare, education, whether it is entertainment, and many others. Luckily, we have not been at the forefront of providing this physical connectivity for long. So we have a huge backlog to catch up. But as I say, it's always a good thing in a way, because now we can provide them connectivity through the digital form. And the digital connectivity can take care of such needs of people which could have been fulfilled only without the physical connectivity. Like you can have telemedicine, you can have education coming from digital form, you could have entertainment right on your handset coming because of digital connectivity. So I think it's a great opportunity for us to look at dual connectivity of a different kind. The times have changed. technology has advanced, and therefore we must try to take advantage of it. The RailTel could play a very critical role in offering this. We have obviously the wireless connectivity which is possible. We could also use the medium of connectivity, as I mentioned, through optic fiber cable or other forms. And the technology changing so rapidly that you never know what is going to come next. So while we have invested such huge amounts of money into creating optic fiber cable network, we must optimize it as fast as possible. My colleague, Mr. Hemant Kumar, is sitting there. He has been a member rolling stock, and he was that day thinking about very futuristically when he said that now we can actually have people traveling probably without tracks, which is something hyperloop. This is something which is mind-boggling at a speed which is unimaginable at today's rate. So what is bringing this change is technology. And therefore, what is the technology available today will become obsolete tomorrow for sure. But while it is available, we must make optimum use of it, and that's why I urge the RailTel to find out the best ways of optimizing this so that rural connectivity can become a reality. I am very happy that our Honorable Prime Minister has a very clear vision. He says the digital economy, which is just around the corner, which is going to embrace the whole world, why not we actually take advantage of this and try to leapfrog in a significant way to bring in a new paradigm shift in the way we think and use technology. So I hope today's very interesting seminar that we are having will not just remain an academic exercise, but will chart out a course of action which RailTel can follow to bring about a digital connectivity, rural connectivity, and then bridge the divide, which is urban-rural divide happening because of lack of physical connectivity, can be overcome very easily by having this form of connectivity. So all the best to RailTel. I know Hemant Kumar and Mr. Pradeep Kumar both are Kumars, which will take care of many of these aspects. I think the Kumar signifies that they are very young people. I wish I was young like them, but I hope that our mind will remain young so that we can think about what the youth wants from us. That's very important to meet the aspirations of people. The youth of India think differently than an old person like me. So we must find out the best way to fulfill their aspirations, come out with ideas, come out with a mission to make that happen. I wish you all the best. I again offer my best wishes to RailTel and all the family members of RailTel who are also part of an extended family of railways in any case, and hope that we'll all work together to realize the common dream of people of India, which is now championed by our Honorable Prime Minister. We look forward to working with you. Thank you very much. All the best to you.
Some really heartfelt and insightful thoughts having been shared by Shri Suresh Prabhakar Prabhu, the Honorable Minister of Railways. Ladies and gentlemen, we would now like to move on, and now once again I would like to invite Mr. Rajan Anandan. Since we had to cut him midway in between, I would like to request him to kindly come back over here and complete his address note for all of us. Please put your hands together and welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. I was hoping that since it's the internet, that would be very brief and I'd be done. Just continuing, I wanted to again congratulate RailTel on the Foundation Day. I think the incredible network that you have built across the nation and the mission that you have inspires all of us. As I was saying, we've just crossed 50 stations as of this morning, and this incredible partnership, as some of you probably know, hopefully at least a few of you know, the objective that we've set is to get to 100 stations this year and to get to 300 stations by the end of 2018. And several hundred stations. And once we actually are able to get to the targeted number of stations, that will effectively give access to about 300 million people in India who take the railways either every day, every week, every month, once a year. 300 million Indians take the railways, different Indians. So basically on a country of 1.2 billion, 300 million of them go through railways. And these set of several hundred stations. And if you think about the ambition here, which is to essentially give 300 million Indians access to high-speed data connectivity is very ambitious. And in many ways, it essentially aligns with the number of internet users we have in India today. So we have 350 million Indians on the internet in India today. And by the end of 2018, 300 million Indians will have access to very high-speed internet connections. So I think it's a very exciting initiative. I again wanted to thank RailTel and the Ministry of Railways and all of you that have worked very closely with us over the last several years, but especially very closely over the last 32 weeks once we launched Mumbai Central to accelerate the pace of this network. The last thing I'll wrap up with is to say, you know, we have been astonished at the amount of usage that the network is actually getting already. Just to give you a sense, the average user, meaning internet user who's accessing the Wi-Fi network, is using about 30 times the data consumption of an average 3G user in India. So that gives you a sense of the appetite that Indian consumers have for high-speed Wi-Fi. And as we think about bridging the digital divide in rural India and really getting all Indians online, it is very, very clear that RailTel already is and continue to play a very, very instrumental role. And it's also very clear to us now, especially given the results that we've seen from this incredible work we've done with many of you, that Wi-Fi will have to play a very, very critical role. And it is our hope over the next several years that this partnership will go from strength to strength, and we can, once we continue, as we continue to roll out this network across all railway stations, we can also go beyond railway stations and take this incredible connectivity to all of India. Thank you again for having us, and thank you for the partnership.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rajan. Ladies and gentlemen, next I would like to invite over here Mr. Hemant Kumar, Member Mechanical, to kindly come up and share a few words with us.
First of all, I would like to clarify the designation has changed to member rolling stock for some time. Well, good morning to all of you, my colleagues and friends, dignitaries on the dais, RailTel family, railway family, distinguished guests, representatives from media, ladies and gentlemen. As was being mentioned by our member, by our MR, Minister of Railways, that the Prime Minister started this Digital India campaign. When it was launched, the digital divide also came into focus. I am told that only about 12% rural people having access to internet, whereas in the urban areas it is about 27%. There has been contribution from the railways also, as has been mentioned by our friend here from Google, Mr. Rajan, that 50 stations have got high-speed Wi-Fi network. A little while ago, I was wondering, where has this word Wi-Fi come from? I could understand hi-fi, which stood for high fidelity. That was for the music and audio systems. But Wi-Fi, it is certainly not wireless fidelity as it looks. I think Fi has just been taken just from the blue. But on second thoughts, probably Wi-Fi, the first version of Wi-Fi was the WIFE. She has a very great connect. It is broadband, wireless, and comes in data packages. So that is why perhaps it has been mentioned as Wi-Fi. We have seen the first explosion of communication where the mobile networks, they flourished. And I'm told that there are more than 1 billion mobile telephone connections out of a total population of about 1.25. I think it would include many people having more than one connection. Otherwise, it's not possible to have so many individual unique persons having mobile connections. We have just seen a little while ago, a film on how people are making use of the Wi-Fi network. Whatever is the travel time, in any case, they have to have that time with them. They are making full use of that. We saw somebody who's trying to sell something, somebody who's trying to develop some ideas and create music, all the while making use of the travel time. This has been possible because of the wireless connectivity on their mobile sets. When we were talking about providing wireless connectivity on 400 stations, as Google mentioned, it appeared to be a Herculean task. But you can see on the stage the policy making body and the executing arm and the actual executor, they are on the same page. So naturally, it was bound to speed up the entire process, and as has been mentioned, it is quite a humongous achievement, I should say, big achievement that 50 major stations have been connected on high-speed Wi-Fi. Well, we have seen the various uses of this broadband connectivity. We have also seen some very interesting advertisements, TV advertisements, making use of the Wi-Fi. One was regarding of a particular service provider regarding virtual classroom. We also saw, so that actually virtual classroom, the advertisement, talked about how in the villages where probably the lack of teachers would be there, how one teacher will be able to connect with a large number of students, maybe even in more than one school. Now that is bridging the digital India gap, this between the rural that connectivity and the use that we can make use of this digital revolution. We have also seen how I think Mr. Bhoguna mentioned about the National Knowledge Network where RailTel has been associated. I have seen this National Knowledge Network in one of the institutions of railways, CTIs of railways, and it is providing a tremendous possibilities. Even the classroom lectures can be streamed live in remotest locations. It has been a great journey for RailTel, which even though it is a railway company, railway PSU, gets only 5% of revenue from the railway business. All other businesses are from outside. And in the end, I would like to give heartiest greetings from my side to RailTel on its Foundation Day, and I wish this seminar all the success. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hemant. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to finally invite Mr. Pradeep Kumar, member staff, to kindly come up and share a few words with us. Let's have a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Very good morning to all of you. My respected colleague board member, Mr. Hemant Kumar, the CMD RailTel, Mr. Bhoguna, Mr. Rajan Anandan from Google, senior officers from railways, various ministries, other government departments, officers of the RailTel, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to congratulate RailTel on organizing this Foundation Day. And it's not just a day, but with a lot of success stories. And Mr. Rajan had already narrated the kind of experience our rail users at 50 stations are already having. And when this Wi-Fi network extends to 400, the benefit that will accrue to almost 1/4 of population of India. Few things I would like to say. While enough has already been said about rural and urban divide, about internet or the mobile availability as such, and the efforts being put in by various agencies, either for optical network or through Wi-Fi or through many other means, are very much the need of the hour. I would like to delve upon related but slightly different fields. While we were studying in our engineering university, Roorkee, we were told that at that time, that whatever you can think, computer will be able to do it. Today, technology has advanced to that level wherein such thought processes can actually be realized. We are already noticing it happening in so many other fields. However, there had been many occasions, we all are aware, that while making an application related to computer field or to the management information field, many times there had been slips between cups and the lips. These may have been on account of some lack of integration between software, hardware, maybe several other things also. So there is a great need that whenever any such new initiative is being taken, we actually be aware about that process and take care about it right from the very beginning, so that the confidence of the people, once they start making use of the new system, doesn't shatter, doesn't get hurt in any way. We are already seeing that mobile phone, which everybody can hold in their hand, will actually become the means of empowerment. It's already becoming one, but in times to come, as more and more applications are put to it, it will assume its greater important role. My dear friend Hemant has already brought about a fact that although we say that mobile availability in our country is pretty high, but quite a substantial number of it would be those people who have more than one phones with them. So this actually indicates, this is actually a point of strength for working more upon this field, because there is a huge unsatisfied demand, and demand will raise on itself as soon as more people start seeing the benefit of mobile, not only as a communication talking instrument, but more as a field of empowerment. And when I am saying empowerment, I have one example in my mind, that is the taxi company Uber or somebody like that. Now just imagine, here is the biggest taxi company in the world, maybe the valuation is also very high, and the fellow doesn't own even one taxi at all. What is the basic thing, how this has helped empowered? That right now the people, the taxi driver who is associated with it, he is feeling empowered. The customer who utilizes that services, he is also feeling empowered. So basically I see 2 or 3 things have happened, that the customer, the service provider, they have been linked. and linked in a seamless manner, which is working very, very easily. That is how everybody is getting benefit. The local taxi fellow whose earning was probably much less has now increased twofold, threefold even, and more and more people are wanting to get attached to it. So much so that this model is now causing even a threat to people owning cars, because people may find it difficult that there is no need to park the car anymore. You can call Uber and the thing is done. So while this leads to a lot of benefit, but this should also become very, very clear that these new kinds of thought which benefit public at large, but they cause serious threats to the entrenched interest because there are disruptive technologies. So therefore, while we undertake this thing, but it will also be necessary that the benefits, the shortcomings of the existing system, the strength of the new system, the ease for which the new system is going to put at hand of the people at large is also adequately apprised to all decision makers, and not once, but on a sustained basis, so that enough momentum gets built up to really go for synergy in this respect. And in the context of RailTel, that will be synergy for the hardware, the network, and the software which is going to be implemented. And I see no reason why there should not be more and more usage to put all these things together in an integrated manner. Another thing will be that India is such a vast country. Only yesterday, Honorable President of India, we had good occasion to meet him. We could take large number of our newly recruited railway probationary officers to have blessings of the Honorable President. I remember one thing what he said, I will repeat it. He said there are three things which are keeping India united. First thing he said was Indian Railways. Second he said was Indian Postal Service. The third he said was Indian Army. And I would imagine that if fourth thing was to be said, it would have been the Indian Communication Network. Because such a diverse country, people will talk different language, people will have different food habits, but the rail track goes. The railway works in exactly the similar manner throughout India. So what a great unifier. Similar is the reach and availability of the postal service. Similar is the reach of army. And similar is going to be the reach of the communication network, both in respect of whether it is optical fiber, whether it is Wi-Fi, whether it is microwave, but whatever is the thing which is ultimately leading to connection between the customer and the user. So I am really very, very happy to be proud of this moment of celebration of Foundation Day. And I really wish RailTel and all stakeholders connected to it all great success, not only for the seminar, but for all times to come. Because what we are associated with is the exalted objective of achieving unity in diversity, and that also for benefit of people at large, wherein empowerment is the base on which everything will be built up. Thank you, one and all.